Welcome back. You're watching eNCA. We're in conversation with President Jacob Zuma after he delivered a statement, of course, on behalf of the African National Congress National Executive Committee. Mr. President, thank you so much for this opportunity. Let's talk about the issue of, the parastatals. Towards the end of the year, there was a lot of focus towards the end of last year, and it continues even now, about the poor performing parastatals. In the message, as you were sitting as the National Executive Committee, what are you going to do differently to address once and for all? I heard you talk at the gala dinner about you're starting to see a change in those parastatals, such as South African Airways. What's going to happen differently in 2016, and are we finally going to emerge out of crises in these parastatals?
We would certainly. Not that we are not dealing with those matters. You will, for an example, remember that ESCOM, Post Office, and SAA, we talked about these three in particular. And we said we are putting them under special eye, and we put the Deputy President to follow what we're doing. And we've been dealing with those issues. One of them, the ESCOM, for an example. Today, people are almost forgetting there's been load shedding, because we took specific measures to deal with that issue, which was a menace to everybody else and to the economy. And that issue is being dealt with. These two are also being dealt with, Post Office as well as the SAA. It's not like we are going to sit and plan what to do. There are plans, and they're being implemented. And there are issue of resources as well in that area. So it's not as if we are doing nothing about it. The Deputy President, for an example, is seized with that kind of issue, both the SAA as well as the Post Office, to say what happens. Post Office is very active, as well as SAA. These matters, SAA has even a strategy, the turnaround strategy, that has been delayed to be implemented. So it's not as if we are doing nothing about them. We are doing something. And I'm sure very soon we are going to see the change taking place.
Because of time, let's move to another issue that you touched on in the January 8th statement, and you did the same even in the 2015 January 8th statement, the issue of combating corruption. In 2015, you said it's ironic that the party that has done so much to fight corruption is the one that keeps getting accused of corruption. And this time around, you've called on people to make it their personal business to report corruption wherever they encounter it. But the reaction that usually comes through, certainly in as far as the new media is concerned, whenever you mention corruption, you personally, is one of derision. That you're a fine one to talk when we know all the issues that you have faced, and also even if it's by remote implication. What do you say to those who are saying that?
You have used a good word, because remote implication. I mean, that's when people try to say you are corrupt when you are not. It's by remote. You have dealt with, the issue, for an example, that has been dealt with is a specific issue which has been used for political reasons. There are a number of issues, as well as corruption in general. Unfortunately, there is a political reason why people use it. There is no government in this country that has fought corruption like the ANC. And there is no one outside the ANC who can say we've fought corruption. The ANC and its government are fighting corruption. But people don't see it because of the political reasons, others for other reasons. We have, for an example, dismissed and arrested the number of 222 officials that they've been dismissed. And some are still undergoing trials, etc. No one is taking stock of that and saying, look, this government is fighting. And we have established structures, more than many countries, of fighting corruption. But people don't see it. That's why you end up with the suspicion that it is for other reasons. That's why we keep on saying, let us fight on, because this is a perception, partly, is a reality, partly, but we are dealing with it. We arrest people. We have got ways of dealing with corruption, I don't think we could break the country. We have got structures, very professional people who are dealing with corruption, and will continue to do so. That's why we continue to make a call. And to say even individuals should not fear to say there is a problem here.
Mr. President, does it bother you that there's a level of discomfort about your relationship with the Gupta family?
Why should it bother me? That again is another political thing. Do you know the Guptas have been the friends of the presidents of this country? I'm not the first one. It's more political. It's precisely the point I'm making. Because I don't know what is it that people can say, this is a problem in this way and that way. One of the reasons that people see that relationship is that my son once worked, he was employed, he has done ICT. He worked there for some time and left and started business. And on his own came to discuss with them, to be partner with them in some companies. Now, precisely because he's Zuma, and then Zuma is corrupt. Why? His son is there. Now, I don't understand really. Why should that be a problem? If I had a father and I take my decision as an adult to do what I want to do, why must my father suffer from that one? Do you think if my father was still alive, who was not a politician, and I'm a politician, he should suffer for it? He should be arrested that he is, during the apartheid days, you would be arrested that your son is an activist, and therefore, I think is a political thing. Whatever sector, people are politically finding an excuse.
I'm pressed for time, President Zuma, and let's end with this question. Of course, you know, the National Executive Committee delivers this statement as a collective to give guidance to the party on the marching line for the year ahead. But you're doing so in a year when we are seeing a lot of talk about what's happening inside the leadership of the ANC, especially the national officials. I'm sure you'll have seen the speculation about your relationship with Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, but also lots of other speculation about who's siding with who in preparation for 2017.
About the ANC from
Please
time
clarify for
immemorial.
us.
There's been speculations about the ANC from the time immemorial.
Is your relationship with the Deputy President still intact?
Intact. Absolutely intact. With everyone. All the officials, intact.
Mr. President, really appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, you've been watching a discussion here on eNCA with ANC President Jacob Zuma, who was talking to us at the conclusion of their 104th celebrations here in Rustenburg. And with that, it's a wrap from us.